I want to mention, my lord, on matter weekly item 5. Mention an item weekly item 5, weekly list item 5, my lord. Sir, man is expert on last Wednesday.
So it's updated.
I pray some time to file his substitution petition, my lord. The man expert last Wednesday, man expert.
What is the matter about?
Item 5, my lord, weekly item 5.
No, what is it about?
That case relates to writ appeal, my lord, challenging the order on single charge.
No, what is it about, please?
Endowed matter, my lord. Endowed matter, my lord.
Endowment matter.
Land has been sold by the deity.
Endowment.
Endowment matter, my lord. Land has been sold by deity. I am the purchaser. That matter
It will
will
remain on board.
Hello?
It's just a weekly list. It will remain on board. That's all. We don't have to adjourn. Yes.
Lord, your lordship may hear me for a minute. Your lordship may pass any order. Lord, 31 item was passed over and 33 was passed over. My matter was in between and mine is the lead matter. I have made a prayer in the chat box also. My IA has also come for orders today, my lord. It is there. Lord, your lordship may kindly appreciate my difficulty. It's Lord Jagannath property and they are proceeding with the construction. Last it was listed in January. Your lordship gave me a date in May. It is coming after 3 months. Lord, your lordship may pass similar order. Is IA notice or your lordship may restrain them. Your lordship said, your lordship may consider my prayer, my lord. Lord, if 31 and 33 was, your lordship may kindly consider. I am not,
Mr. Acharya, we have not passed, Mr. Acharya, we have not passed any order in the IA, but we have directed to serve a copy of the IA on the other
the
side.
same order may be passed. I will take notice in the IA.
Yes.
Lord, my matter is the lead matter. Can your lordship pass any order in my absence without hearing me? Because in the
No order has
collected
been,
matter,
Mr. Acharya, you have been repeatedly informed that no order has been passed in your matter.
Lord,
And
may
why
I
are you
pray?
repeating that in your absence
If
order
your
has been
lordship
passed?
would insist like that, Lord, I am sorry. I was not there. I submitted that I had a
No, Mr.
technical
Acharya,
glitch.
we are sorry that you are.
Lord, will your lordship not accommodate with me?
Item 36.
Yes. Yes.
My lord, is your lordship's call? My lord, am I audible, my lord?
Yes. Yes, Mr. Parika.
My lord, with great profound apology, my lords,
Yes.
I need to take 10 seconds of your lordships. Your lordships have that rule book, my lords, that Odisha Excise Manual.
Yes. Yes.
Kindly come to page 89, my lords.
Right.
My lords put a question to me the other day,
Yes.
and it was my mistake as to whether the license can be transferred.
Right.
So if your lordship sees rule 42, my lords,
Yes.
at page 89.
Right.
Page 89, my lords.
Yes. Yes.
42, there is a condition for transfer. No transfer, whether entire or partial of a license under the act or any rule made under shall be made by the collector.
Right.
I told your lordship that there is no provision for transfer. That's my apology.
Right. Right.
And 43 is renewal of license on death of a license.
Right.
My lord, I'm extremely sorry.
No, it's okay.
And my lord, last 3 days I was wondering that why I didn't tell your lordship. My lord, I didn't have an inkling of this.
All right. All
You
right.
don't sleep well when these things happen. My lord, can I take your lordship's leave? I have to be in another room.
All right. All right. All right.
Deeply obliged.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let's take. Please start, please. In fact, should have already started. This is all part of it. All right. Yes. Who's appearing for the petitioners? Mr. Ahmed is here.
I am informing Mr. Rathod just right now.
Yes. Yes. And there's also that Mr. Tripathi, right? Mr. Suresh Tripathi.
Yes, I am informing both of them.
Mr. Patra and any other, Mr. Ashok Mohanty.
Yeah, Mr. P.K. Ratha.
We'll take up weekly. Just pass over and we'll take up weekly. Then we will join.
Okay. Just wait for 2 moments. Mr. Ashok Mohanty in order. Logged
No.
in.
A Mohanty.
The connection good or? Ah. Ashok Mohanty is there. Yes, Mr. Mohanty.
I will not take much of your lordship's time, Lord.
Yes.
I have heard the submission of the London Advocate General, my Lord.
Right.
What I gathered, my Lord, Advocate General is trying to persuade your lordships
Yes.
to draw inference and pose certain mitigating circumstances
Yes.
to overcome both the limbs of the argument, so far as consideration money is concerned, and so
Right.
far as the location and locality is concerned. My Lord.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
The main argument of London Advocate General is that Section 20 grants the government
Yes.
power to fix the license fees. My Lord.
Right.
My Lord, may I again place Section 20
Yes.
as the cost of reputation, my Lord.
Yes. Yes.
Lord, the state government may grant to any person on
Yes.
such condition and for such period as it may think fit the exclusive privilege.
Yes.
But this doesn't specifically speaks of the fixation of license fees, my Lord, consideration amount.
Right.
But let's assume, even giving the greatest latitude, my Lord,
Yes.
on such condition will empower the government to fix a fixed license fees. My Lord.
Okay. Okay.
Even assuming that, my Lord, my humble submission before your lordship will be
Yes.
that since the rule specifically provides for that, I have argued in another manner exclusion clause.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
But that I will say that it specifically, my Lord, empowers the government, prescribes the mode for government to fix the consideration amount, my Lord.
Right.
Therefore, the rule being specific regarding fixation of prescribing a mode for fixation of consideration money, my Lord, that will relate to Section 20. And if a mode is prescribed under the rules, my Lord, the
Right.
conditions will not override the rules, my Lord. My Lord, am I clear, my Lord?
No, can you just repeat that last bit?
My Lord, my specific submission is
Yes.
that on such conditions for such periods, there is no dispute, my Lord.
Right.
So far as such condition is concerned,
Yes.
London Advocate draws an inference that the prescription of such conditions in section 20 will empower the government to fix a fixed license fees.
Right.
But now my submission is
Yes.
that once a mode has been prescribed under the rules,
Yes.
such conditions it will relate to such conditions laid out in the rules, my lord.
Right. Right.
And my lord, rules, your lordship may kindly, at the cost of the reputation, your lordship may I draw your lordship's kind attention again to the mode of fixation, my lord.
Yes.
Lord, that will be rule. Whatever. What? Where is it going?
34.
My lord?
34.
Yes, my lord. I am not getting it. Yes, my lord. The fees in consideration of grant of exclusive privilege
Yes.
shall be paid for,
Yes.
which is determined by the state government, whether by auction, e-auction, tender, e-tender, or otherwise.
Right.
I ask a question to myself, my lord.
Yes.
What will be determined under Rule 34, my lord? That is payment of fees in consideration of grant of exclusive privilege, my lord.
Right.
So my submission is that let's assume that the government has the power, it will come under otherwise, my lord, and so far as the fixation of consideration money by lottery is concerned,
Yes.
it is repugnant, my lord, because if the consideration money is equal in all the cases, then I understand that the government draws up a lottery to determine who is the licensee.
Mm.
But that cannot be a substitute for 34, my lord.
No,
Either-
Mr. Mohanty, doesn't that beg the question? 34 itself is therefore amended.
Yes, my lord. 34 is amended
Ah,
with amendment, my lord.
yes.
Let's see, will kindly see, my lord. With the amendment, what this same thing remains, my lord. This 34, the fee in consideration of grant of exclusive privilege shall be paid for, which is determined by state government, whether by auction, e-auction, tender, e-tender, lottery, or e-lottery. So substantially, there is no change in 34, except that a fee
No,
cannot.
no, no. Sorry. The grant of exclusive privilege is determined.
Yes,
Ah,
then the grant of exclusive privilege is determined, my lord. And if the grant of exclusive privilege is determined, my lord, then in respect of the licensee, my lord.
no. If you read properly 34,
Yes, my lord.
it simply tells you what is the fees being collected for.
Yes, my lord. The
Ah.
fee is to be.
It's not about fixation of the fee as much as how are you going to give the grant of
The
privilege.
fee in consideration of grant of exclusive privilege
Yes.
shall be paid for,
Yes,
which is determined by the state government,
correct.
whether by auction, e-auction, tender, e-tender, or otherwise.
Correct.
My submission is
Yes.
that this determination will be in respect of the fees.
No. The fee in consideration of the grant. So that fee is paid for what? That is what is given here.
Grant of
Not that how you will determine the fee.
exclusive.
What are you paying the fee for?
That is what I am telling, Lord. When in case the fees is determined, your lordship will kindly relate that previously there was a bid in respect of each sub,
Right.
either by way of tender or by auction. So what
Right.
was determined was the quantum of the license fees, my lord. And it follows naturally.
No. It is linked. No.
My lord,
No, the
that
mode is fixed.
1 minute, my lord. There can be a presumption, my lord,
Yes,
that in case of the highest bidder,
yes.
if the fees is the highest, then obviously you will get it. There cannot be any controversy regarding that, my lord. But if the fees, how can a fee be determined?
No, because that's a wrong question to ask, Mr. Monty. What is being determined here is not the fee. What is being determined is who will get the grant.
No, my lord. It is the language is that the fee will be determined.
No, just read
Yes,
it
my lord.
carefully.
The fee
The fee
considers
shall
some
be paid
grant of
for-
exclusive privileges. That is the fee is to be determined. Payment of fee in consideration of grant of exclusive privilege, that is the heading.
No, what is
The-
happening, Mr. Monty? Just understand the process. Forget about the lottery for a minute now. All right. Forget about the lottery.
Then that
No,
is
I'm
why
just saying, just
I-
keep the lottery, just keep the lottery aspect aside. And let's read the rule.
If,
Let's read the rule as it is without the amendment.
if the lottery aspect is gone, my lord, then there can be a justification, my lord, because the quantum of fees is determined by auction or tender, my lord. The highest bidder gets the quantum, my lord. So the highest bidder naturally fees will differ from bid to bid, my lord. The offer of fees,
Anyway, that's your submission.
that is my submission, my
All
lord.
right, all right, all right.
That will be
Yes.
it will cause violence to the language of the rules, my lord, if we
Right.
read it otherwise, my lord. That is my
Right.
submission.
Right.
Then, my lord, your lordship will kindly look at the government counter, my lord.
Right.
In the government counter, my lord, there is a reference to fixed license fees as fixed by the West Bengal government, my lord. Your lordship may kindly look at that counter.
Yes.
Annexure, my lord.
Yes. Yes. Which one? Which page?
West Bengal government, my lord, are just now giving it. That is annexed to the counter, preliminary counter affidavit.
Yes, yes. Preliminary affidavit. Yes. You give us the annexion number.
That PS number is not there, that is why it is.
No, give us the annexion number.
I am giving you. Can the road general help me in my page number, finding out the page number? That was West Bengal's policy they have given.
That is annexure F by 1. F by 1.
FY1.
Lord. Preliminary counter affidavit, page 55.
Yes. Preliminary counter affidavit filed by, there are two preliminary counter affidavit. It is filed by opposite party number 1, my lord. Preliminary counter affidavit by opposite party number 1.
Yes, yes,
my lord.
we got it.
We got it.
Page 55, my lord.
Yes. The rules of the West Bengal government.
Yes, my lord. Now your lordship may kindly see that rules, my lord.
Yes.
That is. Fine. My lord, at page 67, my lord, your lordship may kindly see.
Seven is Telangana government.
My lord, 55.
Hmm.
In your lordship says that SRO clause 4 provides, subject to the provisions of new site rules, the collector shall put out notice for the supply of application in the form 3 appended to the rules and other particulars on payment of ₹300 by an advertisement published. So an application is invited for me. Then documents will be submitted, my lord.
Yes.
Then, my lord, manner of selection of the applicant is prescribed under Rule 9, my lord. Page 58. Within 30 days of display of the list under Rule 8, the selection of the applicant shall be done in the following manner. If the list contains the name of a single applicant, the collector shall ask him to offer site in the local area. The list contains the name of more than one applicant, the collector shall by draw of lots select only one applicant for it. So that is a specific thing provided to select the applicant. Here, my lord, the inference is drawn from Rule 34 that it will be done by way of lottery.
Right.
They
But both
say-
are rules only.
My lord,
Both are rules only.
both are rules. That's right, Lord.
Yes.
But rule for application and selection and rule for consideration of fees will be sufficient. The West Bengal analogy will not apply because it specifically applies, provides for selection of the applicant on the basis of the lottery. Had there been a specific provision to
Yes.
select a licensee on the basis of the lottery,
Yes.
but then probably this question of fixation of a particular license fees, and fixed license fees, would have been redundant, madam.
All right. All right.
So that is one submission.
Right.
Then, my lord, my London Advocate General has cited a decision about that sound, my lord,
Right.
about the location and locality, my lord.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
My lord, that in my humble opinion is that is before the amendment of the rules, my lord. Rule 31, my lord.
Yes.
31A again may kindly read.
Right.
Affix the public notice both in Odia and English in Form 8 as required under subsection 1 of section 20 and clause A of section 38, giving 15 days time therein for receiving objection, if any, and proclamations by meter drums as required under thereof any mic in the locality or by hostility, provided that the collector shall indicate the local area of the shop for retail sale of which shall be same as the location of the shop. But this was not there when that Sahu's decision came.
Right.
Previously, that is local area and locality, both were defined.
Right.
And locality where it is to be located, and the local area is a larger area
Right.
of the persons from whom objection is invited.
Right.
So this proviso or retail sale which shall be same as the location of the shop containing a list of police station limits, Gram Panchayat, other thing, same as the location of the shops.
Yes.
This location of shop and the locality, then they will be, the local area will be synonymous. That was not there.
Correct.
And those objections were invited much prior to the amendment of lottery system came, giving the existing, that has been argued, my lord.
All right.
Giving the existing area of the shops where it was running, my lord.
Right, right.
So, as I have told you, lordship, that shop, if it is a private property, my lord, it may not be available to the new licensee.
Right, right.
Therefore, no objection has been invited in respect of the intended location of the new licenses.
Right. Right.
These are the mainly plank of my argument.
All right.
Others, Mr. Ratha is there and
Yes,
Mr.
yes.
Raja is there. They will say.
All right.
May I take your lordship's name, my lord? I have got another matter in another copy.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Lord, at the outset, I beg excuse, my lord, because I could not be there before your lordship at the time the matter was started.
No, no problem. Yes.
My lord, I'll try to be very brief before your lordship, my lord, while putting my rejoinder in reply to Learned Advocate General's submission.
Right.
Lord, I'll just, my lord, tell your lordships with regard to 2-3 points again. Lord, with regard to that, Lord, first of all, that question of law with regard to excessive legislation, madam.
Right.
Excessive delegation of legislation.
Right.
Lord, whether there is excessive delegation of legislation, my lord, I'll just cite 2-3 judgments in support of my contention, my lord, though I have not assisted your lordship by giving copies of those judgments, my lord. If your lordship permits me, I can just cite those judgments and I'll produce, supply to your lordship. Lord.
Yes, yes.
Lord, excessive delegation of legislation, my lord, as your lordship knows, there is something called essential delegation and non-essential delegation. Man.
Correct, correct.
Lord, here, keeping in view to the existing requirement in the excise law, your lordship has to form an opinion whether this is an essential piece of delegation legislation or not, requiring the state to pass a law on the floor of the assembly. Lord, my beginning of my submission was that, referring to Article 243 and the concerned entry in the list 2, my submission was that the state is required to pass this law on the floor of the assembly. Without that, the rule making power as is provided under section 90, as your lordship has already seen, subsection 9 and 15 are virtually, Lord, amounting to delegations of essentials, excessive delegation of essential legislative power.
Correct.
Excessive delegation of essential legislative power. Now, to buttress that submission of mine, Lord, at the risk of repetition, would your lordship kindly see that list 2 again, madam? List 2, entry 8, my lord, entry 8.
Yes.
Lord, list, my lord, obviously, your lordship is well aware of this law. The list in the, the entry in the list is not the power of the state, the legislative power.
Only topic.
Yes, my lord. They are only in respect of a topic, and power is there in the constitution, my lord.
Correct. Correct.
Now, entry 8, if your lordship would kindly see, intoxicating liquors, that is to say, production, manufacture, possession, transport, purchase, and sale of intoxicating liquors.
Right.
And this sale of intoxicating liquors, if your lordship would kindly see, covers the area, method of sale, the manner of sale, how it will be sold. That covers the issue.
Yes.
And this, your lordship has to take up, my lord, entry 51. This is with regard to duties, my lord.
Right.
This is with regard to duties of excise on the following goods manufactured or produced in the state and countervailing duties at the same or lower rate on similar goods manufactured or produced elsewhere in India, alcohol liquors for human consumption. The rest is not necessary, man. So, my lord, as your lordship again remembers that Harinarayan Jaiswal's case, this is a peculiar kind of neither a duty nor a fee.
Right.
But wherever it is fitted, lordship now kindly see 246(3). Subject to clause 1 and 2 of the legislature of any state. I'm sorry, Lord. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, my lord.
Yes.
Subject to clause 1 and 2, the legislature of any state has exclusive power to make laws for such state or any part thereof with respect to any of the matters enumerated in list 2 in the 7th schedule in this constitution referred to in the state list. So the state has, kindly look at the language, my lord, state has the exclusive power to make laws. Now, your lordship may see, this, in my humble opinion, is an essential piece of legislation which cannot be delegated, my lord, to the executive of the state. My lord, there is a judgment, if your lordship permits. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yes. Judgment.
But that judgment is, my lord, 2012 volume 8 SCC page 680. The exact paragraph is paragraph 29.
Yes.
But I'll just read one small 4-line paragraph for your lordship's consideration, my lord. I'll not place the whole issue. Under the constitution, the state has plenary powers within the allotted field. Essential legislative function cannot be delegated by the legislature. That is, there can be no abdication of legislative function or authority by complete effacement, or even partially in respect of a particular topic or matter entrusted by the constitution to the legislature.
Yes.
Now, my lord, I'll cite, Lord, further one more judgment. This is AIR 1958 Supreme Court, page 909.
Yes, yes.
My lord, at page 912, para 7, concluding part of para 7.
What is the name of the case, please?
My lord, this is Banarasi Das versus State of MP.
Right. Yes, please.
So, my lord, to conclude this part of my point before your lordship, my lord, that the power under section 90,
Yes.
that rule making power, to the effect it cannot be used to delegate an essential part of the constitutional obligation which this legislature has in favor of the government, executive of the government.
Right.
Now, my lord, if that, my lord, if your lordship, whatever way your lordship holds, my lord, that will depend upon the sustainability of this amendment and also the consequential notifications. Now, my lord, the next point before your lordship, I'll try to address your lordship with regard to that location and locality. Location and locality, my lord, it was vehemently submitted by Learned Advocate General with reference to almost many of the provisions in the Odisha Excise Act read with the rules.
Right.
Lord, I have tried to find out as to the all these provisions, my lord. If your lordship would kindly see section, my lord, look, there are 3 aspects, my lord. One is the local area. Your lordship will find these 3 words in all these provisions.
Yes.
One is a local area, other is a locality, third is a vicinity.
Right.
Third is a vicinity.
Right.
Now, if your lordship would kindly see these provisions which were cited starting from section 20, thereafter section 37, thereafter section 38, 39. Kindly see, man. And lastly, Learned Advocate General went to the rule 30 also, man. Now, your lordship will see the statute here do not define in clear words what is a locality, what is a local area, and what is the vicinity. They do not define under the definition clause.
Right.
Now, if your lordship says section 37 to section 20 makes it mandatory to give objection before grant of exclusive privilege. Lordship may kindly look at the language, mandatory requirement of law. Lordship may kindly see section 20, language is not local area. Language is specified local area.
Yes.
Language here, if your lordship sees section 20, specified local area. And public that notice, provided that public notice shall be given of the intention to grant an exclusive privilege under the preceding subsection and that any objection. So, this section 20 clearly provides inviting objection before grant of exclusive privilege. Now, your lordship may see section 37. Lord, at the cost of, Lord, since these provisions were taken help of by the Learned Advocate General, I'll just try to address your lordship that section 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. Lord, all these provisions are only applicable in case of grant of a new license. Lord, I am drawing a distinction here. There are two kinds of licenses. One is renewal of an existing licenses. Other is grant of a new license.
Right.
Your lordship may kindly see section 37. All these program provided for before shall prepare a list of existing shop and give the notice and everything. Your lordship just see section 44, 1 small e. The whole procedure has been dispensed with for an existing license.
Yes.
Kindly see, my lord. Section 37 to 43 shall not apply in cases of any license which is proposed to be granted. A to D is not a requirement, for the present is not required. E, to any person having exclusive privilege granted by the state government under section 20. So, am I clear, man?
Yes, yes.
Now your lordship may see, so section 37 to section 43, these provisions are redundant. So far as the new grant of new license is concerned, if you are trying to grant a new license, then these are all applicable, not for the existing license. Not for the existing licenses. That your lordship will be, this submission of mine, your lordship will be further clear. If your lordship kindly see rule 30 now. Rule 30. Which was already placed by Learned Advocate General before your lordship, my lord. Kindly see rule 30, the exact provision your lordship may see, sub rule 2. For
Yes, please.
Form 6, the form 6 shall specify Form 6 shall specify as accurately as may be possible the locality of the premises to be licensed. Kindly see, man.
Yes.
To be licensed means a new license. Resort fee proposed and such other particulars in order to distinguish the proposed new license from the existing licenses, which is proposed to be renewed. Lordship may kindly see, there are two things here.
Yes.
A license which is proposed to be renewed, a license which is for the first time is being granted, that is a new license.
Yes.
So, in case of a renewal, all these are not required to be mentioned. Only when you are trying to give a new license, this exercise, subject to change of date, they have the power, is mandatory.
Yes.
Now, your Lordship may see, for the new license, Rule 31. There, my Lord, your Lordship will find that the location and locality theory comes in.
Yes.
And section 20 says about the specified local area. My Lord, I will distinguish your Lordships. Why this location, locality, specified local area, why these things comes in. Now, today, before your Lordship, in the context of arguing this matter.
Yes.
Now, your Lordship may kindly see Rule 24, just the previous page, my Lord, of this book. Rule 24.
Right.
Number of licenses which may be granted for any local area.
Yes. Yes, Mr. Rathod.
Yes, my lord, yes. Number of licenses which may be granted for any local area shall be regulated by the needs of the people of that area, and no license for the sale of any intoxicant in any local area shall be granted unless it is required either to meet an ascertained demand for such article or to counteract supply through illicit sources, provided that increase or decrease in number of licenses for sale of foreign liquor and IFL shall be subject to prior approval of the government to be obtained by the collector through commissioner. Your Lordship may kindly see the language here.
Yes.
They want to regulate numbers of licenses within a local area, depending upon ascertained demand of consumption. Am I clear, man? Am I clear?
Yes. Yes.
Right. Now, Lord, your Lordship may see the local area mentioned here definitely is not the same local area within the meaning of Rule 31.
Okay.
The legislature has created rather an ambiguity, Lord. The whole provision under the act, under the rules, with regard to locality, location, local area, and specified local area.
Right.
These are all in ambiguity. They have not defined anything anywhere.
Right.
They are using these provisions as suitable to them at the given point of time. Now I'll take your Lordships to see and take a call on this matter. Take a call in this matter. Kindly see the format they have provided in their counter, my lord. Kindly see. Whether it confirms the format as per the rules prescribed in the rules, my lord. Kindly see that form number 8. My lord, this is because the proforma in form number 6, starting from section 37 to 43, are all internal, my lord. They are not for public. Public are coming into picture only at the stage of form number 8. And that form 8, your Lordship may kindly see 129, running page 129, exactly at page 131. Kindly see, man. Lordship is holding my brief, my lord. Lordships are holding my brief, my lord.
10726, correct?
1 second, my lord. Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. Great. Lord, running page 131. Kindly see the format.
Right.
And also the format prescribed in the rules. Maybe.
See, page 131
Right, my lord.
is an annexure to the
Counter,
preliminary
ma'am.
counter affidavit.
Outer states document, man. States document.
Correct. So it just says list of IMFL off shops.
Lord, this is a form 8 notice inviting public objection under form 8. which is in terms of section 20 mandatory required, read with rule 31 of rules.
We have forms 3, 4 and all that.
Your Lordship has seen page 131. Running page 131, internal page 74 of their counter, states counter. The annexure each by one.
Correct.
Haryana. Yes,
So 131 says list of IMFL shops.
yes. These are the list of shops. They have invited objection to
Right,
comply with the mandatory requirement of section 28 read with rule 31.
right.
And these are all the shops proposed new licenses, my lord, not renewal. New
Right.
license. Now your Lordship may see the format described in the book. Your Lordship may turn to page 180 of the book, man.
Yes,
Kindly see.
yes.
Lordship says the book provides a format kind of exclusive privilege. Yes, they have given in column number 2, kind of exclusive privilege. Then book provides serial number, they have given the serial number. Then third, locality at which the privilege is to be exercised.
That's the broader area. It's equal to the local area.
Yes, Lordship may kindly see. Then Lordship may see EP area.
This EP area is the location.
But that is nowhere there in the rules. EP area has not been defined in the rules.
No, but it, by its very nature, it has
Okay.
to be the
Now
location.
your Lordship may see in the format there has been no mention about EP area. There is a mention about locality, then local area. Local area is not provided in the rules.
Yes.
Kindly see, my lord. Kindly see the difference here. The whole defective notice, my lord. Kindly see. I'll take your Lordship. What is the requirement of law thereafter? Why I am laboring to show your Lordship about referring to the format and the notice they have given is this is not in terms of the format prescribed in the rules. Because local area is not the requirement of the rules. What is the requirement is locality. And they are mentioning, referring to rule 31, locality is the same to that of the location.
Yes.
And second is, my lord, the fifth column is also not the requirement under the rule format prescribed in the rules.
Yes.
So this type of notice published throughout the state, the sample of which they have given is not in terms of the rules. That is one. Two, my lord, your Lordship,
Yes.
your Lordship asked me a very pertinent question on day one when I argued the matter.
Yes.
Then what is to be done? How can they comply with unless they give a notice? How can they comply with before settlement of the shops? How can they give the location of the shop because it's not ascertained?
Correct.
Your Lordship asked me a question about on that.
Yes.
Your Lordship may kindly see their own document is a reply to that. Kindly see, Lord, that West Bengal document they have filed along with the counter.
Right.
That West Bengal rules, that is at page, they have filed along with their counter.
No, we just saw it. Mr. Monty was showing us.
Yes, Lord, I'll just show up a little out of that. Running page 112, man. Yes. Kindly see. Kindly see, Lord, how the West Bengal government is doing. And they are doing just the reverse. Our state is doing just the reverse.
All right.
To satisfy your Lordship's query, this is the reply, my lord. Your Lordship will see under rule 8, they will prepare a list of the applicants.
Yes.
Then your Lordship sees page 115, man.
Yes.
Within 30 days of display of the list under rule 8, the selection of the applicants shall be done in the following manner. If the list contains the name of a single applicant, collector shall ask him to offer the site in the local area. Kindly see, man. Kindly see the language here. He is getting selected first. Then the collector is asking him to provide the site.
Yes.
Second also B, similarly, my lord, B. if the list contains the name of more than one applicant, the collector shall by draw of lots select only one applicant for granting license in the local area. However, the state government or excise commissioner, as the case may be, may issue guideline for drawing lots.
So this is draw of lots is somewhat like a lottery only.
Yes, my lord, it is same thing. Not even somewhat like, my lord, it is only lottery.
Right.
My lord, I am trying to show your lordship is, my lord, only after the person is selected, then he is asked, you provide your site where you will have your sub.
Right.
Then the next procedure will be followed, inviting objection, so that these kinds of all hue and cry with regard to objection, no objection, objectionable area, locality, location, they are all solved.
Yes.
So, my lord, I have been saying, your lordships, that the state, in our state also, they should have followed the same procedure. They can hold a lottery for the applicants for a specified local area or locality, whatever your lordship may say.
Right.
Once they get selected, they are to offer their site on which the specific objection is to be invited in terms of Form 8,
Right.
read with Rule 31. Now, my lord, only one or two points left to be answered by me. Referring to that, your lordship asked me that natural resources case, man.
Correct. Correct.
Where the 5-judge bench has considered about the auction. Your lordship has rightly read that paragraph.
Right.
Of course, we,
Para 119.
para 119. Of course, we read it later on. Your lordship has read it very.
Yes.
The language here, may I place it, man?
Yes. Yes. Please.
The norm of common good has to be understood and appreciated in a holistic manner.
Right.
It is obvious that the manner in which the common good is best sought is not a matter that can be measured by constitutional yardstick. It would depend on the economic and political philosophy of the government. Revenue maximization is not the only way in which the common good can be served.
Right.
Where revenue maximization is the object of a policy being considered qua the resource at that point of time to be the best way to serve the common good. Auction would be one of the preferable methods, though not the only method. Your lordship was saying this very sentence.
Right.
Though not the only method. Where revenue maximization is not the object of a policy of distribution, the question of auction would not arise. Revenue consideration may assume secondary consideration to developmental consideration. So, Lord Honorable Supreme Court has drawn a distinction here, drawn a line. What is that? Where the revenue maximization is the object, auction is the method. Where the revenue maximization is the secondary object, then auction is not mandatory. Now I take your lordship to the same Harinarayan Jaiswal's case, man. Lord, here, my lord, I'll try to, my lord, I have given a memo of citation. There,
Right.
your lordship will find at page 124 this judgment is available. Of course, your lordship need not take the pain of getting that voluminous note. If
Right.
it is right, my lord. Lord,
Right.
I'll just read it, my lord.
Mr. Rathod, like I was mentioning, I think to one of you, sometimes it can even be a combination. I was giving the example of, let's say, Bhubaneswar Development Authority has built flats. Initially, those flats, because there's a large number of applicants, it goes by lottery, draw of lots. All right. Over some years, there are no occupants. Although the draw of lots, somebody has won the lottery, he has not come forward to pay the fees, so he lets go. Nobody else is interested, either because the flat is in a certain condition or in a certain floor or a certain location which is not suitable. So after 3-4 years, you find some of these development authority put up certain flats in lots for auction.
Yes, yes, lordships, correct.
So there
Lordships
can
are
be,
correct.
what I'm saying is, therefore, at different points in time, there could be different considerations, even
Absolutely.
determining what the policy
Absolutely correct, my lord.
should be.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct,
So
ma'am.
this can't
Absolutely
be
correct.
rigid. It can't be said.
Your lordship
can
is
be
intending to
said.
say it can't be a straight jacket formula.
That's right.
Yes, you
That's
can't
right.
put it in
So
a,
many factors determine this.
your lordship is proposing to say that you cannot put in a watertight compartment
Correct.
And,
You
and
can't
besides
say it
that,
has to be only revenue maximization when it comes to liquor license and therefore only auction. See, these are
Sir,
only indicative of the variety you have to choose from
that's what I'm saying, my lord. The
as a policy
BDA,
maker.
yes, my lord, the BDA, the State Housing Board,
Yes,
they are all, my lord, basically, they float welfare schemes, my lord. Sometimes for economic weaker section, sometimes for middle income group. Lord, they are for welfare and beneficial intent of the citizen. They float the schemes, my lord.
right,
So that is what has been distinguished by the Honorable Supreme Court in Natural Resources case.
right.
That your lordship would kindly consider. Now, my lord, your lordship will see page 138 of my note, where in Harnarayan Jaiswal, Supreme Court in clear prophetic words has said,
Yes,
sale in question is but a mode of raising revenue.
right.
Kindly see, my lord. Here, the question of sale of grant of license of liquor shops was there. Your lordship, the entire judgment was placed by Learned Advocate General.
Correct.
Kindly see, my lord, page 132,
Yes,
10th line from the top.
yes.
Sale in question is but
Correct.
a mode of raising revenue.
Correct. Correct.
Lord, I will be incomplete if I do not cite one more line at the bottom of this para. It may also be remembered that herein
Correct.
we are not dealing with a delegated power, but with a power conferred by the legislature.
Right.
So Harinarayan Jaiswal and Nandalal Jaiswal are the judgments which are clearly distinguishable on its own facts. These
Right.
two judgments were not considering validity of a virus of a statute or a law, which is now pending at your lordships are now considering. These are all on specific facts, my lord. These are all on specific facts. And the findings rendered by the Honorable Supreme Court in these two judgments are confined to those specific facts. I need not cite or say, your lordships, that judgments are not to be read as a law. They are to be read in the context of the facts they have decided in that case, particular case.
Right.
Am I clear, man?
Yes, yes.
Lord, these are all my
All right.
submissions.
All right. All right. Thank you, Mr. Dutt. So, Mr. Tripathi?
But I think
But-
Maybe I may not be misunderstood, my lord. I may not be misunderstood if I just add one or two line, my lord. One or two line, my lord.
All right. All right.
I have given memos, my lord. I have given additional memos dated 15th of July 2021.
Right.
Kindly see, my lord, in those memos, I have given a format notice published by the state in the district of Khurda.
Right.
Lord, state, your lordship will see the state in the column of exclusive privilege area has given the details about the shops, plot number, khata number, everything, my lord, given in the list, my lord,
Right.
in the notice. So,
Correct.
my lord, what I am trying to contend is, my lord, the state is not authorized to provide different kinds of notice at different points of time under same rule. Under the same rule, under the same format, state cannot give prevaricating notices at different points of time. It has to be at a particular form. If at all the state is saying that locality is a mistake, then state should amend its law suitably. It cannot take a prevaricating stand fitting to the situation where the state is fitted.
Okay.
Now, Lord, one more just submission. Yes, ma'am.
Right.
But that Prakash Raut case, which was cited vehemently by the Learned Advocate General, with regard to notice, my learned senior Mr. Mahanti has tried to distinguish that. I'll little supplement my learned senior Mr. Mahanti. Ramesh Chandra Raut's case, 2003, reported in volume 97, 2004, CLT, page 39. Exclusive rules 1971.
Yes.
But here in this judgment, the Honorable Division Bench of this Honorable Court was considering a Form A notice as the notice was then, Form A notice. It was not Form 8 prior to amendment 2017.
Right.
So Form A notice in 1970 rules, exclusive privilege rules 1970,
Right.
nowhere stipulated any law as that of proviso to Rule 31. Locality is to be same to that of the location. There was no such law in 1970 rules.
Okay.
That was the occasion for the Honorable Division Bench of this Honorable Court to render a finding that there is no requirement of providing a locality, location, or exact place of the shop. That was the requirement.
Okay.
Because the rules did not provide that.
Right.
Now that 2017-31 proviso has come into operation, but this judgment is wholly inapplicable to the facts of this case matter. That's all. I am grateful.
All right.
Mr. Tripathi is there, my lord.
Yes, he's here.
Yes.
Right.
I'm holding power with him. So he had asked me to make a request to your lordship, but he's there.
Yeah, he's there. Right. Mr. Tripathi?
Yes, sir.
Ah.
Well, since everything became sudden, actually, well, Mr. Ahmad used to give a reminder. I couldn't brief him today in the morning because it all became sudden. It would have been a fitness of things if, since he has made the opening argument, he would have made the agenda. If my lord permits, then I will make a agenda submission.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Fair enough, my lord.
Yeah.
But the submission of Lord AG with regard to the objections appear to be 4 to 5 fold. The first objection was, submission was, placing reliance on section 37. Learned says that this is applicable in respect of a state where the licenses, because the licenses are still in existence, therefore, we profitably couldn't have placed any reliance on section 37.
Right.
And section 37 is wholly inapplicable to us. We never placed an argument on section 37. Because if my lord would be kind enough to see the language of section 37, it says,
Yes.
in respect of sale of spirit or toddy for consumption. Our case is not neither of them, neither spirit nor toddy. Ours is a foreign liquor license. So since we never, my lord, placed no reliance on section 37, the reliance placed by Lord Advocate General on 37 doesn't appear to be, my lord, well placed. Second, my lord, it is the case of Lord Advocate General that no objection has been received, and he seems to have, my lord, questioned the locus standi of the petitioners. My lord, the law is well settled that insofar as it comes to the compliance of a statute, and the state government is charged with non-compliance of the statutory requirement, the locus standi of a petitioner is wholly irrelevant. My lord, in that context, I would be placing my reliance on a decision which appears to be opposite. That is, my lord, 2000, volume 7, page 552. This is, my lord, A.M.S. Jairaj versus Commissioner of Excise. I have sent, my lord, I have circulated that. And if my lord, I can quickly read the relevant paragraphs. But there also the locus standi of the petitioners, those who came to the court, was questioned, and repelling the submission of the locus standi, the court says In this context, we notice that this court has changed from the earlier strict interpretation regarding locus standi as adopted in so and so, and much wider canvas has been adopted in latter years regarding a person's entitlement to move the High Court involving writ jurisdiction. I'm sorry.
Correct.
I'm sorry, Madam.
The audio is not as clear as the other speakers, but maybe it's your system. You may have to increase the volume.
I'll just enhance it. Am I clear now, Madam?
The mic is at a distance from your mouth. It has to be brought to closer to your mouth. Therefore, the echo sound is coming.
Is it clear now?
Yes, much better, much better.
Okay. But I'm placing my reliance with regard to the locus standi on a decision rendered by the Supreme Court, that is 2000, volume 7 SEC, page 552, and the relevant paragraphs begin with paragraph 12. It says, in this context, well, this is M.S. Jairaj versus Commissioner of Excise. In this context, we notice that this court has changed from the earlier strict interpretation regarding locus standi as adopted in so and so, and much wider canvas has been adopted in latter years regarding a person's entitlement to move the High Court involving writ jurisdiction. A four-judge bench in so and so pointed out that three categories of persons versus locus standi: a person outright, a stranger, and a busybody or a meddlesome interpoler. Lorenz Jades in that decision pointed out that anyone belonging to the third category is easily distinguishable, and such person interferes in things which do not concern him, as he masquerades to be a crusader of justice. The judgment has cautioned that the High Court should do well to reject the petition of such a busybody at the threshold itself. Then their lordships observe the following: the distinction between the first and second categories of applicants to real is not always well demarcated. The first category has, as it were, two concentric zones: a solid central zone of certainty and a grey outer circle of listening certainty in a sliding centrifugal scale with an utmost nebulous string of uncertainty. Applicants falling within the central zone are those whose legal rights have been infringed. Such applicants undoubtedly stand in the category of persons aggrieved. Then they say a recent decision delivered by a two-judge bench of this court, where Justice Sethi was one such party, after making a survey of latter decisions, held thus. Then was paragraph 14, in the light of the expanded concept of the locus standi, and also in view of the finding that the division bench of the High Court, that the order of the Excise Commissioner was passed in violation of law, we do not wish to leave the notion out solely on the ground of locus standi. If the Excise Commissioner has no authority to permit a liquor shop owner to move out of the range and have his business in another range, it would be improper to allow such an order to remain alive and operative on the sole ground that the person who filed the writ petition has strictly no locus standi. So we proceed to consider the contentions and merits.
But here there is no issue of locus standi here, Mr. Tripathi.
Locus standi was challenged, the division bench were accepted.
No, in any of the cases before us, where is the question of locus standi in the cases before us?
No, but the London Advocate General seems to have argued against me, saying that there is no locus standi of these petitioners having not raised any objection.
Right.
I'm answering that question, Madam.
I see. No, but anyway, that question can't be answered by a judgment in that sense. You still have to say, how come when you are there for 29 years in a shop?
Yes.
How
But
do you insist that you alone should continue? That is the point actually being made.
I'm going to deal with that point a little later, but my objections with regard to the statutory non-compliance of the notice inviting objection was sought to be dealt with by Learned AG by saying that these petitioners in any case can't complain because they don't seem to be having.
It's not so much locus standi to say that you've already enjoyed a certain privilege for a long enough time.
Well, that I'll be dealing with that point.
Some of you got it initially through a lottery.
Yes.
And then kept extending it just by paying a premium.
Well, that I'll be dealing that point a little separately and independently. But I'm now raising my submission with regard to the notice part first. The second submission, my lord, of Narayan was
Yes.
that assuming, my lord, that there is some irregularity
Correct.
in the notice inviting objections,
Right.
the policy decision to hold lottery per se cannot be impugned.
Right.
We are saying that it is bad in law. Now, that was the submission.
Right.
But my respectful submission before my lord should be that if a decision rendered which is not in conformity with the statutory requirement, regardless of the nature of the decision, whether it is a policy decision or otherwise,
Yes.
the decision must be held to be invalid and inoperative.
Right.
But the next submission of Lorenz was that the location of the shop
Yes.
is not required to be mentioned in the notice. But if that submission of the Lorenz is accepted, then that would betray the language, express language of Rule 31, read with formality.
No, but what about the section itself?
Well, the section 20, well, that is exactly why I am going to make my submission. Lorenz seems to have argued that the rule cannot control the act.
Yes.
Now, if my lord would be kind enough to see the section 90 of the Odisha Excise Act 2008.
Yes.
The state government may make rules to carry out the objects of this act.
Correct.
So to carry out the objects of the act, well, it doesn't have to be delineated everything in the section as to what is required to be done for the notice or for inviting objections. Precisely because of that, section 90 is already there. Now, while exercise of the power conferred under section 90, if the state government frames a rule, it is too late now, my lord, for the state government to complain about that rule.
No, Mr. Tripathi, the argument was this: if you turn to section 20,
Yes.
the word used is that, just see the proviso,
Yes.
and that any objections made by any person residing within that area.
Shall be considered.
So it doesn't matter as long as everyone in that local area can object. This is his argument.
Whereas the section 20 talks about a larger area called an area.
Correct.
But rule 31 makes.
So in practical terms, once you've issued a notice inviting objections for locating an IMFL off shop in a local area, every person in that area can object.
Well, that doesn't serve the purpose of the requirement of the rule. For the simple reason, my lord was kind enough to give the other day an illustration. Let's take CDA sector 6. It's a huge area, or Nizamuddin East for that matter.
Doesn't matter. Every person in that area can object.
Well, they would be objecting in respect of a whole area. The purpose is that the objector must know as to where it is going to be proposed going to be located. Is it within the objectionable area? Does it conform, or is it within this, whether it within the area, let us say temple or school, whichever which delineated in the act, that it should be in a non-objectionable area. The purpose of giving a specific location of the shop as envisaged in Rule 31 is precisely that, which is why the Ramesh Sahu was interpreted, and they made a distinction that there is a distinction between locality and local area. Coming to that decision which was relied upon by Ramesh Kumar Sahu.
That decision which
Yes.
talks of actually it does say there's no distinction between locality and local area. Here we are concerned with the distinction between locality and location.
But
That decision is about how to understand the two expressions, locality and local area. That decision did not concern with the understanding of the expression location.
But Saurabh Sahu seems to have applied Rule 31 in a reasoned manner after analyzing both the provisions of the Act and the rule. Ramesh Sahu, my lord, if my lord would be kind enough to see the last line of Ramesh Sahu.
Yes.
Ramesh Sahu advises the state government to conform to the specific location of the shop. Therefore, the decision must be held to be per inquirum. Kindly see the last line of Ramesh Sahu, the decision which is sought to be relied upon by London AG.
Right.
Firstly, my lord, it's a decision rendered by a division bench.
Yes.
So it couldn't have overruled, my lord, the decision earlier rendered by another division bench.
Right.
Number two, my lord, Ramesh Sahu does not seek to make an attempt to analyze the provisions of the Act or even the rule in question.
All right.
While we are referring to the earlier decision,
Yes.
Ramesh Sahu in the end advises the state government to be cautious enough in future to give exact location of the shop. Therefore, that decision doesn't lead us anywhere.
All right.
Now, my lord, the next argument was,
Yes.
therefore, my lord, Ramesh Chandra Raut decision which is relied upon is contextually relevant.
Yes.
Now, my lord, Learned Advocate General the other day, my lord, to a pointed question of my lord, answered that there is no provision in the Act for the transfer of the license.
No, today he clarified that.
That's
I think
right.
you were not there. You were not connected then, perhaps. I'm not sure.
Rule 42.
Correct. He made it a point first when it opened today to clarify that.
And not only Rule 42 permits the transfer of the license.
Correct.
There are many instances in this year where, consequent upon the lottery winners, in fact, have transferred their license to others at a huge amount of money.
Correct.
Now, the fact that the lottery winners, after getting the lottery,
Yes.
have transferred their license to others,
Yes.
itself would fortify my argument that this lottery is nothing but a chance.
No, but even an auction winner can transfer then.
We are not comparing two situations. But my argument was, which Mr. Ahmadi was very succinctly was making the other day, that the very arrangement called lottery is per se arbitrary. Now, if I can fortify that submission by making a reference to this transfer of the licenses, I am told, my lord, in instances, there are crores of rupees.
Mr. Tripathi, the fact of the matter is, none of you thought of this as a point. All right, I happened to ask it off chance.
So the fact that my lord was kind enough to ask that question wouldn't have been irrelevant. It must have been had a point. My lord, he is never known to asking a questions without a context.
All right.
No,
Yeah, carry on.
Yes.
No, anything more?
No, my lord, this is with regard to the objection, and third, my lord, with regard to my argument that there is no corresponding provision in this impugned notification with regard to section 29, and therefore the exercise is.
Mr. Tripathi, that is Mr. Ratha's first ever point, so that's getting repeated now.
That's
That
right.
was Mr. Ratha's first point.
Quite right. I have also taken that as a ground.
Right.
It is not in dispute by Lord AG that there is no corresponding provision of section 29.
Correct.
What? Though he has made an endeavor to place in 3 different places, But none of those sections which are relied upon by London AG talk about, my lord, the contingency which was provided in section 29.
Right.
Therefore, my lord, the improved notification suffers from excessive delegation of essential legislative power,
Right.
and therefore it is arbitrary.
Oh.
But kindly permit me to give a supplementary submission.
No, no, certainly. All of you can. All of you can.
I'm grateful, man.
All right. So do we close the hearings with this, please?
Not, I may pardon.
Yes, yes.
Not,
yes,
I'll,
Mr. Patra.
not,
Yes,
I'll
yes.
add. Not
Yes,
with
sir.
regard to excessive delegation, I just word one point, Lord.
Yes.
Lordship kindly have glanced to the, my read, fourth number, the verses, my Lord, Behra.
Right.
Where, my Lord, Lordship I'll glance to the annexure 4, that is, my Lord, after issue of lottery rules, in exercise of power rule 90, they have issued this gazette notification, annexure 4, page 36, my Lord. Here, they have issued these procedural rules, not how lottery will be made.
Right.
Lordship can have glanced first paragraph. That this is, my Lord, 26 February 2021.
Right.
In exercise of power conferred by section 20 of the Excise Act, read with rule 34 Odisha Excise Rules 2017, and in supersession of the notification of the government of Odisha Excise Department dated 28/4/2005, issued so and so, my Lord. So it relates to the retail sale of IMFL and country liquor. The state government do hereby direct the grant of exclusive privilege, my Lord. Here, your Lordship, kindly have glanced to Lordship kindly have glanced to section 20.
Yes, yes.
They're saying that they have conferred with the power. Here, Lordship will find conferred power relates to only 21.
Written submission.
No, this, Mr. Patra, I don't know whether you followed the exchange with Mr. Mohanty today.
Lord.
I don't know whether you were tuned in when Mr. Mohanty was arguing today.
I just saw two provisions, section 20 and 34 and 29 of the BR Excise Act. The conferred power. The conferred power is there in section 29 of the BR Excise Act, whereas under this act, it is not there. So they cannot issue this. That also this is excessive delegation law.
All right.
The legislature has not authorized the executive to do this law.
Okay. Okay. All right. You see, orders reserved.
And Lord, we will also file written note of submission from our.
All the parties are permitted to file the respective written notes of arguments within 1 week. We can also replay your arguments, Mr. Mohanty.
Yes.
No. This is one of the first live record cases, the streamed cases, one of the first streamed cases. So
we are proud to be part of it, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
The historical moment.
Right.
For the High Court.
It's all a trial. Like I kept telling the bar also, this is a trial. So we only learn through all these processes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right. All right. Thank you. You can stop the live stream.